All right. I want to start out by saying all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Those are the men that teach me this 100% truth according to the Holy Scriptures. Peace, blessings, and safety to the elect of the nation of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Just checking my audio. Which the nation of Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, and Native American Indians of Negroid and Indian descent. According to the seed of the Father, you are the Israelites, the biblical Israelites that were prophesied to go into slavery via slave ships and to then be delivered by our Lord Yahweh Shai from this mystery Babylon, which is America. All right. Via the chariots of the Most High, so-called UFOs. All right. And these are the mysteries of the scriptures that the Lord has given us grace and mercy to be able to understand and break down. All right. Via being taught by the elders and the apostles. All right. Now, the title of this lesson, as you can see, singer Keri Hilson has dreamed of the end of the world. And so I'm going to play the video and then we're going to get some scriptures and then we're going to close out. Nothing too deep, nothing too, unless the spirit, makes it deeper.
I know that the world is ending in a dream. There's always the sky going black and you're actually watching it happen. There were so many people killing people in the streets.
What is your favorite dream?
I dream a lot. I have a tattoo that says dream in color. I really do dream in color, and they're very, very, very vivid. I don't remember my favorite dream, but I do remember my least favorite dreams because I have these recurring dreams about the end of the world, and they're very, very vivid and very realistic.
What happens?
Different things happen. It's always something to do with a natural disaster. There's always the sky going black and you're actually watching it happen. Another dream, it's like a flood. Another dream, there were so many people killing people in the streets, women and children included. They throw my whole week off because I don't really know what to think of that and why I have those dreams so often, maybe once a year.
Do you know that the world is ending in a dream?
I know that the world is ending in a dream. You just know it. It's a sense, it's a feeling. Another time it was like UFOs or something, I don't know. And they were fighting above us, and we just knew that this means it's over. The sky turned dark, and we saw these things fighting. And it's weird. This is very personal.
So that's her dream. All right. Now I'm gonna play it again, and then this time we're gonna play it. I'm gonna get scriptures to go along with it. All right. So a bunch of scriptures should be coming to your mind if you're a brother in this truth. If you're new to this truth, you might not know, but if you've been in this truth, a bunch of scriptures should already be coming to mind. So let's listen again.
I know that the world is ending in a dream. There's always the sky going black and you're actually watching it happen.
So she said the sky going black. All right. Matter of fact, I got to get my Bible. My computer starts to act crazy when I have more than one tab open. Let me get this. So she said that this first of all, let's go to Joel, the second chapter. What? All right. Joel, the second chapter. Real quick, Joel 2. Because the Lord told us that he would give us dreams and visions. All right. In the last days, dealing with his coming. Joel 2:28. And it shall come to pass after that. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Right. And it also says, which I'm gonna just go back to it. Let's go to the book of Job, because you see toward the end she was tearing up. And she said it felt real. That's because it is real and it already has taken place. The destruction of America via the chariots and World War III, the nuclear missiles, that lake of fire has already taken place. All right. It's already taken place in the spirit realm. It just has to manifest here. This is Job 7:14. It says, "Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifies me through visions." Let's go to the Hebrew. Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrify me through visions. The word there for scarce, it says to be shattered, be dismayed, be broken, be abolished, be afraid, to be dismayed, cause to be dismayed. Clearly she is dismayed, terrified, to shatter, because a concept of reality. All right. You know, the concept that America, the scriptures say in Psalms 49:11 that the wicked, their thoughts is that their house shall continue forever. That's how the wicked think. Even though Egypt had an end, even though the Persians and the Medes had an end, even though the Babylonians had an end, even though the Greeks and the Roman Empire had an end, America somehow is going to be different. No, it's not going to be different. But the wicked will think so. It says to prostrate, to break down, literally by violence, figuratively by confusion and fear. Let's go to that other word. The word for dream. It's kha la khalam. It says dream, ordinary dream with prophetic meaning. Okay, so you're gonna have individuals that have dreams that have prophetic meaning. Let's go to Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2, because if you're on an idiot, you know, like Christianity, if you're not stupid, then you understand that all the prophets, what they saw were dreams and visions. That's what the whole Bible is. Not the whole Bible, but a large percentage is dreams and visions. Now let's read this again. Acts 2 verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days. So this is not talking about what happened on the day of the Pentecost, although somebody on the Pentecost might have had a dream that day during Yahweh's time. This is talking about something that will come to pass in the last days. Shall, right? Acts 2:2-17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, which the last days began when our Lord walked the earth. That's pursuant to Hebrews, the first chapter and the first verse. And now we're at the end of the last days. It says, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. So this is what's called a precept. This is what links up with Joel. See, the apostle Paul was quoting the Old Testament, just like Yahweh Shah was quoting the Old Testament. It says, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And upon my servants and upon my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy, because that's how a woman prophesies. A woman isn't to teach, but she prophesies through dreams, the dreams that she have. Our wives have dreams. Our wives tell us about the dreams, and we interpret the dreams. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. Again, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Let me go to that word vision. The word there for vision. It says Hataza Ya one. Hataza Ya one. And it reads vision in the ecstatic state. Valley of vision, perhaps figuratively of Jerusalem or Hinnom, right? Because Tazayawan is Zion. Hataza Ha Ta Ya. Hataza Yawan is a vision, vision in the night, vision, oracle, prophecy, and divine communication, because dreams are straight from the Most High. Now, you can't take every dream and think that it means something, because the scriptures also say that dreams lift up fools. So you have to know whether or not a dream is actually biblical, because a dream that's biblical will be backed up by the scriptures. So, matter of fact, before I go there, she said that no, I can go there because I got my Bible in front of me. She said that the sun, your work is done. All right, well then, I don't know. Go do something. I'm doing a lesson. Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 13. Yeah, Isaiah to the 13. Verse 9, behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. So the day of the Lord is coming with wrath and fierce anger. Okay. So I don't know what Christianity is teaching you. I don't know if they're reading the scriptures to you, but they should start, because this is what the scriptures say about the day of the Lord, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, when Yahweh Shai comes back. It says, Isaiah 13, verse 9, behold, the day of the Lord cometh both cruel, so like a cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So the Lord's going to destroy sinners. It says, verse 10, for the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. She said that it was dark. The sky became dark. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine, which is also spiritually speaking on the wisdom and knowledge of this world. It will be to no avail. It will be to no profit in that day. Matthew 24, verse 29, and immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, which are those missiles, all right? And spiritually are these celebrities and these kings. It says, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. That's those UFOs that she spoke about, the clouds. When you read Psalms 104 and verse 3, the Lord said that he maketh the clouds his chariots. Psalms 104, verse 3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Psalm 68, verse 17, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. Let's go to 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 9. And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So Elijah went up into heaven into a chariot. So what was that technology? What was that technology, so many thousands of years ago that took Elijah up into heaven by a whirlwind? That's the so-called UFO that she saw. But anyway, she spoke on the sun and the moon being darkened. So let's continue this. Lord willing, my computer.
There were so many people like killing people in the streets.
So she said that there were people killing each other in the streets. Let's go here. Zechariah. See, because we deal with prophecy. Christianity don't deal with prophecy. They don't understand. I would say they don't understand it, but they don't even deal with it to understand it. This is Zechariah 14 and 13. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Speaking on the coming riots and when this infrastructure of America collapses because it's already fragile as a piece of toilet paper, this economy is on its last leg. They keep giving out these gifts to destroy Jake's heart. Scripture say that a gift destroys the heart, but it also destroys the dollar. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So you're going to have people killing each other. Okay, you're going to have people turning to their own people. They're only going to trust their own kind, so to speak. All right, people are going to be breaking into houses because of the lack of food. All right, and you're going to have women and their wives getting raped. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. So this is the prophet Ezra, the same prophet in the book of Ezra. All right, just like you have the editions of Esther. All of these are heavy prophetic books that will remove, all right, from the common Bible. It says, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. The modern day sword is the gun, all right, and also the missile. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Are we not seeing that throughout the world? For there shall be sedition among men. The word sedition means an uprising against an authority or government, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it is going to come a coming time of lawlessness. The so-called Illuminati, the top international bankers, the Masonic order have a motto, order ab chaos, which in the Latin means order from chaos, or order out of chaos. They create the chaos so that they can bring the specific order that they want. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. 911. There ain't gonna be no 911. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Which tribulation, the Lord said, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. So she's getting these prophetic dreams. She's probably getting them out of chronological order, because even the scriptures are not in chronological order. She said one dream people was killing each other, another dream the sky was dark, another dream the chariots came and they were fighting, which we're going to get scriptures on all of that, Lord willing. Let's continue.
A lot. I have a tattoo that says dream in color. I really do dream in color, and they're very, very, very vivid. I don't remember my favorite dream, but I do remember my least favorite dreams, because I have these recurring dreams about the end of the world, and they're very, very vivid and very realistic. What happens? Different things happen. Like, it's always something to do with a natural disaster. Like, there's always the sky going black, and you're actually watching it happen. Another dream, it was like a flood. Another dream, there were so many people like killing people in the streets, women and children included.
Yeah, women and children included. We just read that their children also shall be dashed to pieces. For the Lord is not a respecter of persons. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And that word mark in the Hebrew is tawah, which means to be exempt from judgment. So the angel was going throughout Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. The angel was going throughout Jerusalem and setting a spiritual mark in the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, that preach this gospel, that mourn, that have a contrite spirit for what's going on in this abominable kingdom, this whore, this great whore, mystery Babylon. It says that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And began at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So the Lord is going to slay old, young, maids, little children, women, babies. All right. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. And he said unto them, Defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew the city. So this is the Lord said he is the man of war. That's why the end of every kingdom is in war. And this kingdom is going to be the same way. So like, yeah.
Women and children included.
Let me go back a little further. Hold on. Slaki. 2 seconds. I just want to plug my computer up so it don't die. All right.
Another dream, there were so many people like killing people in the streets, women and children included. They throw my whole week off because I don't really know what to think of that and why I have those dreams so often. Like maybe once a year.
Do you know how long something?
I know that the world is ending in the dream. You just know it. It's a sense, it's a feeling.
Yeah, because this gonna end. Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24, because this phrase, the end of the world, is a common phrase, you know. And when people say it, they believe, most people believe, you know, the world is gonna internally blow up. You know, the core is gonna blow up, or a meteor is gonna hit it, and you know, everything is just gonna be done away with. But let me read this before I get that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Because the world is not going to end. The word world in the Greek is eon, which means an age or an era. But let's read this. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the earth will always be here. Okay, the earth will always be here. It's not going anywhere. Because the Lord said in let me see, what's that? Where is that? Isaiah 45. The water Yahweh Shemel Shah. Let's go to Isaiah 45 in verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end. You see, Israel is a world. Okay, and that's the world that is spoken about that's going to receive everlasting life in John 3:16. Now the point is in verse 18. For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh Shemel Shai, and there is none else. So the Lord made the earth to be inhabited. So it's not going anywhere. So the end of the world is speaking on the end of this so-called white man's world. Okay, Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashem Kakadash Brakatah. It's speaking on the end of the so-called white man's world. All right, Esau's world. Let's go real quick. Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. Because this show ain't our world. You gonna sit up here and tell me that it's the Negroes and Latinos world? You gonna tell me that we call some shots around here? We don't call no shots, man. This ain't our world. This is the heathens' world. Okay, specifically the top heathen, Esau, Edom. All right, and the Edomites are here today. Second Ezra 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world. So the end of the world is going to come when Esau is in rulership, which Esau is the wicked. Let's go to Malachi. Esau is the wicked. Not Canaan, not Moab, not Ishmael, but Esau. Esau is the wicked. So we're going to go to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4, verse 3, verse 2. I loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, because the Edomites were impoverished throughout the majority of their history, being in the Caucasus Mountains, being pushed, being up in Mount Seir. Their homeland is desolate. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. But they returned out of the bottomless pit, as it says in Revelation 20th chapter. And they built empires such as the Greeks, such as the Romans, and now the revival of the Roman Empire, which is America, NATO, and the EU. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. So they're going to build. But like we said yesterday, there's a boundary that Esau cannot pass. That's in Job, the 14th chapter, the 5th verse. The Most High has given them a boundary, and they cannot pass that boundary. Okay, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So Esau is the border of wickedness. He's the beginning of it. The border is the beginning. Before you can get into a country, you have to go to the border. Before you can establish wickedness or indulge any type of wickedness, you have to cross Esau, because everything begins, all the wickedness in the earth begin and end with Esau, because he's the same spirit of the serpent. It says, and they shall call them. So we're speaking on the whole nation, not just Esau himself as an individual. It says they shall call them, okay, because Esau is the father of the Edomites. All right, and the Lord deals with nations. When the Lord speaks on Jacob, he's talking about all the Israelites. When the Lord speaks on Esau, he's talking about all the Edomites. When the Lord speaks on Moab, he's talking about all the Moabites. It says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So the earth was given to the Edomites, okay, the wicked, the border of wickedness. And what did the Edomites do? They covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it ain't the Edomites, then who is it? If it ain't the so-called white man, who are the Edomites, who do rule the world, who did cover the face of the Lord, who painted his image to be a false image. If it's not them, then who is it? Are you stupid? If it's not him, then who is it? That's what Job is asking. That's what the Lord is asking. So back to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, meaning Esau is going to be in rulership. The wicked is going to be in rulership when the world ends, when this age ends. Okay? It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 25. Whoso remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world, because this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Okay, this world is full of corruptible flesh, but the world to come is not going to have such. 2nd Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So is the Lord going to make a whole new world? No. He's talking about the era, the age, the people that will dwell in that age, that will get to enjoy that age. Okay, few people are going to enjoy the world to come. And he answered me, saying, and you can't say that this is the world that he was speaking of, because it's billions of people in the world. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Verse 3, I'm gonna jump to 3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So that's plain. There be many created, but few shall be saved. And how are we going to be saved? By knowing the signs, by viewing the signs. Okay. And I think my camera lost connection, but that's okay, as long as y'all can still hear me. So by knowing the signs, by looking for the signs. You know, this is Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So when Yahushua comes back, that will mark the end of the world, the end of this man's world. Okay. Verse 4, Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Or you have all these various philosophies in the earth to deceive the Israelites. Because when the Israelites wake up, the Lord comes back and the wicked gets put down. And these people love to indulge in this world of wickedness. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And we can't forget Acts 2, that there will also be dreams and visions.
And why I have those dreams so often, like maybe once a year.
You know that the world's ending.
You see, she doesn't understand why she has these dreams, because the Most High has not led her to the prophets. Okay, but we're here to be able to interpret and break down the dreams and the visions. You know, the Lord have given that mercy to us to be able to, starting with our elders and apostles, the prophets, all right, who are the elders and apostles, the great millstone. The Lord have given them the spirit to be able to break down these dark sayings and these prophecies.
I know that the world is ending in a dream.
She knows that the world is ending in a dream. She knows that she don't know nothing, but she know that the world is ending in the dream. That's given from above. That's not that's not she didn't study to have that feeling. She gonna tell you that it was a feeling. That's given from above. That's divine.
You just know it's a sensitive feeling. Another time it was like UFOs or something.
What'd she say? Hold on, let's play that back. Bring it back, DJ. DJ, y'all about Shmyo Shop. Bring that back.
Another time it was like UFOs and they were fighting above us.
And they were what? Let's get the book of Revelation. Revelation, the 12th chapter. And you wonder why Donald Trump created a space force. And you wonder why. Uh-oh. So you can't hear the video. Sound went away. Can you hear me? Oh, that's Esau. That's Satan. Can you hear me? I'm gonna bring the video back. Redo the tab. If you can hear me, let me know. I see the thing moving, but I don't know if you can hear me. Let me see. Let me check my phone. Sound went away. Okay, so you can still hear me. All right, let's get the video back. Give me 10 seconds. Salakia. Lord willing, it'll play. Or the sound will play, I mean.
The sky turned dark and we saw these things. And they were fighting above us. We just knew that this means the sky turned dark and we saw these things fighting. And
Okay, so you can still hear me. Let me see. Okay, so we got it back. All right, let's do it again. Here we go. Oh shit. It's like, all right, let's go. Now the things that she's talking about is so-called UFOs. Let's pull it back.
You just know it. It's a sense, it's a feeling. Another time it was like UFOs or something, and they were fighting above us.
Now what? Now what did she just pull this out her ass? Did she just pull this dream of you? Did she just, you know what I'm saying? Did she just, let me just talk about UFOs today in my interview so I can look like a crazy person to the whole world? No, she's saying this because it really happened. She really saw this.
Like UFOs or something, and they were fighting above us. We just knew that this means the sky turned dark and you saw these things fighting. And
She about to cry. She about to cry. She about to cry. She said that they were fighting above us. Revelation 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. War in heaven. Okay? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Now, wacky tacky Christianity will tell you that the angels is up there fighting with the Lord, that the angels is all out of order and they rebelling against the Lord. No, hell no. That's not what this talking about. Let's read it again. Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Again, dealing with the Space Force, the United States Space Force, the Chinese Space Force, the Russian Space Force. They're gonna fight against the chariots of the Most High. They're gonna fight against Yahweh Shah when he come back. Let's get 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter, because we deal with prophecy, man. Christianity don't deal with prophecy, man. They tell you that ain't no prophecies. Prophecy? What's a prophecy? 2nd Ezra 13. I'm gonna start at 1. I'm gonna read all the way through it straight through. So hopefully you can understand what it's talking about. 2nd Ezra 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And that man is Yahweh Shah. The thousands of heaven are the chariots. It says, 2nd Ezra 13, verse 2. And there arose a wind from the sea, and that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Remember, we read in Psalm 68 that the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. It says, and all things trembled that were seen under him. She trembling now, and she not even seeing the vision right now. Daniel 12 and 1. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Did this happen already? No, it did not. How do we know? We just keep reading. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So Michael was going to have to stand up when this war in heaven takes place, when Esau actually tries to fight against the angels. Okay, it says, let's read 2nd Ezra 13, verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that were heard under him. Okay. The Lord Yahweh Shah with the chariots is the man that came out of the sea. And all this great multitude that came to subdue him is the armies and the air forces and the space forces of these various nations. You have movies like Independence Day. What do you think they get these movies from? They get these movies from the scriptures, because Esau doesn't have an imagination. Israel is the former of all things. 2nd Ezra 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That great mountain is the fathership. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. The ship was so big that Ezra couldn't see where it began and where it ended. Verse 8, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. They were afraid and yet durst fight. It says, 2nd Ezra 13, verse 8, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, this means it's over for the 2/3 of Israel, man. And for Esau, man, and everybody who worships the image of this beast, this system. It's over. Because what's gonna happen when this war takes place in heaven? You see, she's looking up now. This is spiritual, but she looking up as she recollecting the dream, because in the dream she was looking up in the dream because it was a war going on in heaven, in the Shemayim, in the upper atmosphere. Okay, in the atmosphere. 2nd Ezra 13, verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came together, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, meaning the fire that's going to proceed from the chariot. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to flock. Which was prepared to flock. Let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 13 and 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight. That's what I've been trying to say. And burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And she's afraid just recollecting it. You got 1 Corinthians 2:14, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Right. So to many, this whole video is going to be foolish to them. To many, this whole video is not going to make sense. It's going to completely go over their tiny ass head with that tiny ass brain, because they're natural men. They wake up, they get breakfast, go to the gas station, they go to work, they comb their hair, they brush their teeth, they shit, they poop, they chase women, and that's life. That's life. There's nothing more to it. They get money, This is natural man. But the spiritual man, the scripture said that the spiritual man judgeth all things. Nothing is not spiritual. When you really spiritual, you understand that nothing is not spiritual. Everything is spiritual. You stub your toe, it's spiritual. The stop sign is bent, it's spiritual. Whatever, anything, everything is spiritual, because the Spirit controls all things. 1 Corinthians 2:14, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned, because the Lord have not given that understanding to them. Okay? So I'll just play one more time, and that'll be it.
Another time it was like UFOs and they were fighting above us. We just knew that this sky turned dark.
So there was UFOs above her. Revelation 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. So this man is going to lose that war in heaven. Okay? He's going to lose that war in heaven. All right? His rulership is going to be taken out. His rulership is going to be taken out. It's a good one. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 31. and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. You're going to have, this is the war of Armageddon, the spirit realm versus the physical realm, the 4D realm versus the 3D realm. That's what's about to take place, man. This shit about to be off the chain, man. You know, it's about to be off the chain. Bonkers. 2 Ezra 13, verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, because this is going to be taking place. The war in heaven is going to take place in the midst of World War III. These nations are going to be warring against each other, and in the midst of that, that's literally the script of the movie Independence Day, if I'm not mistaken. These nations are going to be warring against each other in World War III, and the Lord is going to come back, and he's gonna cause these nations to team up. You know, stop fighting against each other and fight against the so-called aliens, fight against the foreign enemy. 2 Ezra 13:33, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own, meaning when they see the destruction that these chariots is coming with, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. They're going to try to fight the Lord, man. You know, they're going to be willing to come and fight, because they're going to think that it's some aliens they can defeat, because they've been deceived by Esau's media, which is a part of his witchcraft, you know? So, hey, Lord, when this is edifying, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'm going to play it one last time and let it play all the way out, and then that'll be it. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Barakathum to everybody tuning in.
I know that the world is ending in a drink. There's always the sky going black, and you're actually watching it happen. There were so many people like killing people in the streets.
What is your favorite dream?
I dream a lot. I have a tattoo that says dream in color. I really do dream in color, and they're very, very, very vivid. I don't remember my favorite dream, but I do remember my least favorite dreams, because I have these recurring dreams about the end of the world, and they're very, very vivid and very realistic.
What happens?
Different things happen. Like it's always something to do with a natural disaster. Like there's always the sky going black, and you're actually watching it happen. Another dream is like a flood. Another dream, there were so many people like killing people in the streets, women and children included. They throw my whole week off, because I don't really know what to think of that and why I have those dreams so often. Like maybe once a year.
You know that the world's ending.
I know that the world is ending. You just know it. It's a sense, it's a feeling. Another time it was like UFOs or something, and they were fighting above us. We just knew that this means it's a sky turned dark, and we saw these things fighting. And this is very personal.
God, Yahweh.